What's up, y'all? Welcome to the
Raw University.
and today,
Dr. Sean Mackey left bad Airbnb review, and host sends his wife a picture of him cheating. Dr. Teresa Mackey received a strange message at her job via email, along with a controversial image attached. The email message stated, "I love your bag. Where'd you get it?" The security footage photo allegedly shows Teresa's husband, Dr. Sean C. Mackey Sr., with another woman pressed up pretty closely behind him. Sean would later admit in court documents that it was indeed him and a woman who is not his wife who were caught on camera. Dr. Sean Mackey believes Airbnb and Pamela tried to shake him down for additional money in the wake of his stay, and claims Pamela caused lots of emotional distress by sending that incriminating photo and email with the subject line, "Nice bag," to his wife.
I love your bag. Where'd you get it? That was the question that Dr. Teresa Mackey received at her job via a mysterious email sent to her on Tuesday, September 20th, 2022 at 11:23 p.m., along with a controversial image. The security footage photo, according to court documents, featured Teresa's husband, Dr. Sean C. Mackey Sr., with another woman pressed up pretty closely behind him. Sean would later admit in court documents that it was indeed him and a woman who is not his wife who were caught on camera. While Sean and Teresa reside in Madison, Mississippi, and have 3 children, Sean had taken a little trip to an Airbnb superhost home for a weekend away in Memphis. That long weekend away from Friday, September 9th, 2022 until Sunday, September 11th, 2022 at the Airbnb home called Little Bit More Country has turned into a nightmare of a lawsuit involving accusations of adultery, blackmail, and more. Sean is accusing both Airbnb and the superhost, Pamela Fowler, of RICO racketeer and corrupt organization violations. Sean believes Airbnb and Pamela tried to shake him down for additional money in the wake of his stay, and claims Pamela caused lots of emotional distress by sending that incriminating photo and email with the subject line, "Nice bag," to Sean's wife. I simply had to download a bunch of court documents, in this case of Mackey versus Airbnb Inc. et al., to see how this wild tale of an author cheating on his cancer-stricken wife would end. The 50-year-old Sean Mackey likely rused the day he ever created an Airbnb account on July 30th, 2019. Let's go over this whole sordid story. In court documents, Sean writes, "I am an adult resident citizen of the state of Mississippi and reside in Madison, Mississippi. I was born and raised in Mississippi. I am 50 years old and have lived in Mississippi all of my life except for 2 years when I lived in Memphis. My wife is an adult resident citizen of Mississippi, and she also was born and raised in Mississippi and has never lived anywhere else. In July 2022, I was looking for a place to stay in Memphis with some friends to see a ball game there. A friend of mine, also a Mississippi resident, recommended the Fowler's house in Memphis to me. As reflected by the logs of the Airbnb website, on July 19, 2022, I contacted Pamela Fowler through the Airbnb website, and we began negotiations for me to rent her house in Tennessee. During those conversations, I was physically located in Mississippi. We confirmed our agreement to rent the house on September 7th, 2022, for the weekend of September 9th through 11th. I furnished my phone number to Pamela Fowler and Airbnb as part of the rental. Airbnb and Fowler furnished her phone number to me. This is the same phone number which sent the threatening text message to me on September 22nd, 2022, threatening to send compromising photographs and/or videos of me in the presence of another woman to my wife. After I refused to capitulate to the threats of extortion, I was informed by my wife that she had received an email while she was at work in Mississippi from someone claiming to be Sean69gmail.com with the subject, "Nice bag." She showed me the photograph, and it is indeed a photograph of me and the other woman taken on the night in question at defendant Fowler's home in Memphis. The so-called threatening text message that Sean is referring to reads, "Hello, Sean. I hope you are well. Sorry it took so long to get the photos you requested together to show your stay at our home. But I had faith, was driven by integrity, so I committed to get these posted for you and Airbnb. The photo at 3:16 a.m. is especially notable. Should I forward the photos and videos to Teresa, or will you? The videos will come shortly. I think they are too big for text, so I will post to YouTube. Have a wonderful weekend." What started out as a friendly exchange between Sean and his Airbnb host, Pamela, devolved over a number of issues. The entire guest suite, hosted by Pamela, says the superhost once enjoyed 4.5 stars out of 8 reviews for her home, suited for 9 guests, with 3 bedrooms, 4 beds, and 2 baths. The rules included terms such as no smoking or vaping anywhere on the property, no pets or parties allowed. Pamela doesn't book to locals, only registered guests can stay in the booked space and use the pool. Security cameras on the exterior of the house are in use at all times. Well, these last 2 rules are where the breakdown came into play. Sean balked at giving Pamela all the names of all the guests who would visit the Airbnb home. Considering that detrimental photo at 3:16 a.m., perhaps we know why. And it was those same security cameras on the exterior of the house in use at all times that caught Sean with the other woman in the middle of the night. Sean would complain that Pamela never told him that the cameras had audio. Meanwhile, Pamela complained that her neighbors were making noise complaints during Sean's stay with his guests. Sean claimed that Pamela changed the rules on him mid-stay and limited the number of vehicles to only 4 in the driveway. Communications broke down to such a degree that the locks were changed on the Airbnb during his stay. An extra $660 for the extra guest fee was charged, a fee that Sean deemed extortion and refused to pay. Sean wrote, "Pamela's text was threatening and an attempt to extort. She assumed this would prevent me from pursuing my personal refunding, filing a complaint about the discrimination that occurred to Airbnb, and ensuring that I would pay the additional money she requested. I have been told that this behavior is criminal and therefore illegal, a violation of state and federal law and Airbnb policy." Pamela also sought out my wife's work email and emailed a photo to her place of employment. She acted on her threats and extortion attempt when I did not give in to her demands or respond as she had hoped to her text. Pamela also sought out my wife's work email and emailed a photo to her place of employment. Sean went on to say that the review he had left was removed from the Airbnb Superhosts page. Plenty of filings have been submitted in this heated lawsuit involving plaintiff Sean Mackey versus defendant Airbnb, Inc., and Pamela Fowler. The most recent filing as of this recording took place on February 8, 2024. While Pamela claims she was within her rights to ask Sean and his multitude of guests to leave her Airbnb after her neighbors allegedly complained about the noise in the quiet neighborhood, Sean claims none of the noise complaints are true. Sean claims in his lawsuit that the intentional acts to invade his privacy and inflict upon him emotional distress and subject him to public ridicule specifically were done to damage his marriage. Sean claims that Airbnb acted in concert with Pamela to extort monies from him and engaged in extortion by using private information, including photographs collected during his Airbnb stay at a sanctioned home. Sean's factual allegations claim that he had originally planned for 4 people to stay with him, but he wanted to have a place where he could invite additional old friends. Sean said he made clear to Pamela that his additional guests would be having dinner at the home that night, but would not be staying. The advertised booking stated that the home could accommodate up to 12 guests, Sean claims. even though Sean said he was told that additional guests were welcome and that he could update his guest counts on the guest lists at any time, and instructions on how the guests' cars should be parked were given. He claims his number of guests and cars became a problem. Sean admitted that Pamela went out of her way to inform him that, please note, Airbnb requires us to inform you of the following. There are additional charges / penalties / fines for violating any house rules. At 4:02 p.m. on the afternoon of September 9th, 2022, Sean checked in. At 6:08 p.m., Sean updated the guest list as follows. The reservation said we could have up to 12 guests. Some of those include Stacy, Carol, Ursula, Kim, Tony, Marlon, 20s, Daryl, Darius, and maybe a few more. Only 4 to 5 will be staying overnight. Very soon thereafter, at 6:18 that night, Pamela told Sean for the first time that only 8 guests would be permitted at the residence. In addition, Pamela stated for the first time, according to Sean, that there would be an additional cost for each guest, whether they spent the night or not. She also reinforced her strict no parties rule. A few moments later, at 6:27 p.m., Pamela imposed an additional new rule that only 4 cars would now be permitted at the residence, says Sean. By 7:13 p.m., Pamela demanded that Sean either add the extra guests now or have them leave immediately. She also made unfounded accusations that she had received complaints of yelling and profanity in the parking area, Sean claimed. Several minutes later, at 7:31 p.m., Pamela accused Sean of violating the no party rule, of having unauthorized guests, and disturbing the neighbors by yelling and cursing in the parking lot. At this point, Pamela demanded that Sean and his guests leave the property. In fact, none of this was true, Sean says. Only one additional guest had actually shown up for a total of 5 guests at the home. No party had taken place. No one had been yelling or cursing in the parking lot. These were simply pretexts for the host and Airbnb to collect more money from Sean in the form of fees and fines. He insisted.
So yeah, y'all see how messy she played? Look,
Wow.
that's a shame. Let me know your thoughts on this matter. Comment down below. Like, share, comment, and subscribe. Thanks for watching.
And until further.
Bye.